What's up YouTube, it's Orth. Now today I've got another epic Hydra champion for you guys, which is absolutely a beast. This champion does tons of damage and he brings really nice utility along with his kit. And the champion is the one and only Fenax. Now a lot of people have been asking me to cover Fenax and they were swearing by his damage and how good it is. And I can confirm he does tons of damage, but what I was mostly impressed by is the utility and the support he brings in certain scenarios in Hydra. For example, when you need this block buff AoE whenever your block buff champion is on cooldown, or if something just popped out the woodworks, or you got weak hit or resisted, this guy can be a fantastic backup block buffs for you. So he has an 80% chance, which I mastered up to 85% chance with the sniper mastery, I believe it is. So he has an 85% chance to land block buffs. Not 100%, but it's still very, very good whenever you can get this. It stops from Suffering doing reflect damage and Wrath doing increased attack and reflect damage. Really, really good and useful. And also we have the A3. Now the A3 is a similar sort of thing. It's a 60% chance of landing decrease speed and decrease defense. It is on a 4-turn cooldown. Both of these abilities are on a 4-turn cooldown, but this is really, really good too. You can never have enough decreased speed and decreased defense in your team, because sometimes, I've spoken about this before, when you sever a head or when you decapitate a head, the debuffs fall off, right? So when the debuffs fall off, Fenax doesn't have any ignore defense in his kit, so he really likes having the decreased defense on the Hydra head so he can do tons of damage. So in some scenarios it's actually worth not to do the biggest hitting ability, but actually do the utility abilities and get some debuffs at the same time. I was super impressed with him. I'm going to jump in and show you guys the build, the team we ran him with. A lot of people were talking about how Cardiel and Tuhanrak is in every single one of my teams, so I'm going to show you guys a team without those two, and yeah, let's get into it. So here he is. Here's the man of the hour, Fenax himself, Sacred Order Beast. We have him in really good gear. Now, if you guys have been watching my YouTube content or been watching my Hydra guides, I generally like to do the guides in my best gear. I don't give it in second tier gear or third tier gear. I don't spare any gear lying around. I want to give them the best of the best gear and test them to their full potential, how much damage they can do. So we'll go ahead and take a look at the stats. We've talked about the kit a little bit, so we're not going to cover that again. We'll look at him in Hydra. He's 7500 attack, which is really good. He doesn't have any 2-star blessing. He is +2, I believe. Yeah, he is +2, but he doesn't have anything more than a 1-star blessing. I would like to have 4-star, 5-star, 6-star. But it is what it is. We have 1-star on him. It gives him a little bit of HP. Could be worse. We could have 0, right? It gives him a little bit of HP and it gives him Heaven Cast Blessing too. So that's nice. So 252 speed is what I went with for in Hydra. He is doing a little bit of debuffs, but I didn't really take him as my main debuffer. So he normally for debuffers I'll take 270, but for damage dealers like 230, 250 is just fine. 100% crit rate, of course. 319 crit damage with 244 accuracy. Now this is enough accuracy for me to land debuffs because we do have aura from Mikage. I'll show you the team in a second. 20% ignore defense. He has savage, cruel. He doesn't have any ignore defense in his kit, so even when Helm Smasher procs, he will be not doing 100% ignore defense. Now Fenax is one of those champions that his damage goes through the roof once you get a 6-star blessing on him. Now, we've been having this conversation in my stream as well. Which champions benefit the most from 6-star crushing rend? And that is the champions, or those are the champions that don't have any ignore defense in their kits, because they would go from having 0% ignore defense to 31% ignore defense in Nightmare and slightly less in Brutal. So when champion is designed by Plarium, they balance the multipliers of a champion based on how much damage they do, right? So for example, if this champion has no ignore defense, his multiplier is going to be higher because Plarium know he's not going to hit that hard because he doesn't have ignore defense. However, if somebody has ignore defense, the multipliers are going to be slightly lower because they don't want him to be complete broken. Obviously, there are some outliers in this, but generally that's how they balance the damage from a damage dealer. So when you get to 6-star blessing on Fenax, he will blow everything out of the water. So if you are somebody who has a 6-star Fenax, I would 100% recommend him. It's so insane to run him with 6-star. Before that, he's just in the same tier, I would say, as maybe an Alika or Gala. His utility is very good. He does bring like debuffs, so that kind of gives you a little bit more of a reason to run him. Gala has a bit more survivability than him. You can run this guy in Blood Shield to give him a little bit of survivability. But whoever is your highest awakened champion. Now, somebody in my last YouTube comments mentioned that, who do we pick? You cover these damage dealers in Hydra, and who should we be going for? Should we build all of them? And the answer is whoever is your highest awakened champion, whoever is your most empowered champion, that's the champion you should go for, because empowerment is great and awakening is awesome. So make sure you are taking whichever one of these nukers you like the fancy of, you prefer running, and also whatever their blessing is and whatever their awakening is, and maybe if you need the extra debuffs that he's bringing. But fantastic sort of champion, really fits in nicely to pretty much any Hydra team. These are the blessings, masteries. I've started calling masteries blessings for some reason, maybe because we talk about blessings quite a bit. So these are the masteries I have taken. We did take Cycle of Violence for the A2, A3, even though we don't really care about that too much, but it's still nice to have. It's one of the better blessings. Cycle of Magic isn't a high enough chance. It's a 5% chance on a random skill, whether you get, or on the other side, you get 30%. But either one of those aren't really great. Nothing really here is increasing our damage. Wrath of the Slain, we don't want any of our champions to go down. So we have taken him Helm Smasher, tier 6. This is what I would recommend everybody take him in, because again, he doesn't ignore any defense. Now I'm super excited to show you guys this team, because this team I've been cooking. I did tease this team last time out, and here it is. This is the team I put together. Now it doesn't have any Cardiel, it does not have any Tuhanrak, so no Void Legendaries for anybody who doesn't have those two champions. Instead, we brought in Hugo and Tatura. Now, the reason why I've brought these two champions in, and we also put in Val as well, because we want the decrease attack that we were getting, or not the decrease, the weaken that we were getting from Eastrid has now been replaced by Val, so he's going to be doing the weaken for us. We have Mikage in lead. She's doing increased attack. Increased attack is really important. Again, Val and Fenax, both attack-based champions. Want to make sure we have increased attack. Ally attack, crit damage, buff extend, and debuff decrease is there for us too. So Mikage's in lead. She's got the 80 aura. She's really nice. This is Brutal Hydra, so we can basically build around about 200 accuracy, and we're fine to land debuffs. We have Hugo for block buffs. Now, Fenax is really good for block buffs, but it is an 85% chance. So you really want to bring in somebody like a Hugo. I had a 6-star Hugo, so I was super excited to run him. I got convinced into building a bit of a damage Hugo. So if you're seeing him do a bit of damage, then that's why we actually gave him some damage gear. We have Nekmothar in a Hex set. So Nekomo's good, increase speed, decrease attack, decrease speed, and leech, right? Leech is giving us a bit of healing too, so it's really nice. Tatura, the reason why we brought in Tatura, because we want to increase defense, we want to be tanky. That is one thing that Tuhanrak was giving us. Block debuffs is one thing that we were getting from Cardiel. So block debuffs is really good too, because you don't want to eat all the poisons and get provoked, and then you got the pain link you need to deal with. So all of those things can be quite annoying. So we brought in Tatura. He also has Veil. So he's good against Torment, because he will place Perfect Veil on all of his team. And by that time, you want to be basically killing Torment and get him out of there. So Tatura is fantastic. I would highly recommend anybody without Duchess or anybody without Cardiel or Tuhanrak or any of those really good support champions. Tatura is definitely a good option. I know he was a fusion champion a while ago, so if you guys are sitting on him in your vault, definitely pull him out. If you guys want to see a dedicated video on Tatura teams, I will be more than happy to do that. I definitely think this champion is very underrated. Glakead has been released, who does Perfect Veil AoE. This guy is fantastic. Give him a try. It brings increased defense too, so if you're running Mishinaki and you don't have Tuhanrak, he's your guy. Val, decreased attack, weaken AoE. Our team is lacking weaken because Hugo's only doing decreased defense. AoE, decreased attack, another source, but we have Nekmo there anyway on the A1. Nekmothar can sometimes miss. He's not 100% to land. So we have Val. He does tons of damage, so really good damage from him. And then we have Fenax at the end. So Fenax is in there for the damage mostly. we're not really stressing about the debuffs, but you will see there were some scenarios where we did need his block buffs and we did need his decreased speed. So I will show you the presets. And in the presets, I actually show how I set up basically all the champions. Make sure the champion is a metamorph from Mikage, and then we do an ally attack, and then we do the buff extend and extend. With Yugo, I turn on the A2 and or prioritize the A2. I don't touch the A3 because I don't want to force him to cleanse and heal. I only want him to do it when his AI thinks it's necessary. So he won't do it when there's no damage taken. He's got a little bit of a smart AI. He'll do it for like a debuff, but he won't do it randomly, right? He won't do it like necessarily, but he will do it when it's needed. So you guys got really smart AI, just A2 priority and then leave the rest off. Necmothar, extra turn into decreased speed. And with Wings of Shelter, I went with A3 on priority and then A2 on second prio. So we can get the buffs more consistently and we can keep them up. The Veil is what we really like. Increased defense and block debuff is very, very good too. That's just the way I prefer to put them on. With Val, we done A3 into A2. So we are going to go ahead and do that because the A3 hits really, really hard. And then Fenax, we're going to turn off A2 and A3. And if you ever need these debuffs, this is what I would recommend doing, is just turn off the A2 and A3. And if you're watching around and you missed a block buff somewhere, you can just go ahead and you can just manually put on that debuff, the block buff, or the decreased speed, wherever you need. But as general damage, you want to stick with his A1. His A1 does tons of damage. So it's really nice in ally attack. He's really good in counters, although I haven't really given him too much counter like accessories or anything like that, because counters can sometimes just kill you. If they have reflect damage and you counter into them, you can get smoked. That can happen. To start the run off, we are going to try to land Necmothar's decreased speed on Decay and not land it on Blight. It's kind of like a tech where you make Blight go first and then you block buff so the Poison Cloud doesn't land and then he cleanses. It took me a few tries to kind of get it going, but I want to go ahead and show you guys a run that we kind of went with. I think I did like 4 to 5 tries to get the RNG correct. So let me just take you up here. We'll start at 100 million damage is a good sort of part. I probably severed a few heads going into this. So let's take a look. Let's see. We have decreased attack on our Fenax on the left. Fenax is right here. He's under Veil right now. Here we're going to go ahead and kill Wrath there. Here's an ally attack. He doesn't have increased attack. And he doesn't have decreased defense. So we kind of want the full stacks. There's not really, he's doing like 500,000 with decreased attack on and no decreased defense. But let's see if we can get some debuffs out and see how much damage he can do. We're not going to have decreased defense this turn neither because, yeah, he's just going to go in. There you can see like 1,000,000 hit without decreased defense. The decreased defense got resisted from Yugo. Of course it did. You know, that's just how it is. And then Val is going to land weaken for us. I really do wish we had decreased defense here, but that's okay. This is without decreased defense. He's doing 800k. So you can see the Helm Smasher difference. He did 420k and then 820k. So the ignore defense value is very, very good. Let's see if we can actually get some decreased defense situation perfectly set up. Yugo didn't do decreased defense again, unfortunately. Here goes an ally attack. We are strong affinity this time. There's a 856k hit from Val's A1. And then we had a 700k and a 500k hit from Fenax's A1. So he's doing like a chunk more damage. I was going to give a number. I was going to say twice as much. He's not doing twice as much. But he's doing 50% more damage than him. Let's see if we can get any debuffs. We want to get decreased defense. What am I thinking about? I'm thinking about the cleanse here. I'm thinking I don't want to get cleanse. So we're kind of waiting for Decay to do his cleanse. There it is. And now we would like to do our debuffs. We're going to do the decreased defense here, or we're going to do... Oh, we did block buffs, right. We did block buffs from our Fenax there, as you can see. So really, really nice to be able to do that, because if we didn't do block buffs, Yugo did come through, but if Yugo doesn't come through there, we can be in trouble. So here, we don't have a severed head. Let me just break out this champion, and we'll see if we can find a severed head that we can do a hit on. Okay, we have this guy on the right. Come on, Fenax, show us your damage. So there's decreased defense, and there goes his A1 without any weaken. He did 1.5 million. And now there's a weaken. Let's see if Mikage can get our increased attack back for us. She cannot. He does run about 2 million with the setup, right? If he has increased attack, if he has decreased defense and weaken, he will do 2 million on an A1. He doesn't have increased attack here. He did 1.2 million. Here we have an ally attack, so this should be a good check. Let me actually slow it down. So we have Val here. He's going to do his attack. Now, Val also has full stacks. He has increased attack, decreased defense, and weaken. And he has increased crit damage. So Val did 1.6 million. Val is no joke champion. He does big damage. 1.6 from Val. I'm pretty sure this procced Helm Smasher too, because normally he does run about 1 million to like 1.2 million. This is a Helm Smasher proc, 1.6. Let's take a look at Fenax. He did 1.12 million and 961k. This is a 2 million A1. This is insane because he's not awakened to any damage potential, right? He doesn't have any like 2-star or 4-star or 6-star crushing rend. This is just pretty much base and +2. This is amazing. This is really, really good damage. Super happy with the amount of damage he does and also the utility he can provide. So I'm going to let this run keep going. I feel like we kind of waited for the perfect time to show how much damage he can do and the other things that he's doing in his kit as well. A little bit more going on with his kit. I'm going to let you guys enjoy the rest of the run. I'll come back at the end and we'll talk about a few of the things that we could have probably changed, and I'll show you the rest of the gear on this entire team because I'm pretty sure people are going to want to know how this Yugo and how this Tatura is built because we haven't built him before. But yeah, enjoy the run and I'll catch you guys at the end of the run. So here it is. This is the final damage. 502 million. Bit of a tragedy near the end. I believe Nekmothar died to some random damage. I think Wrath hit us and he went down. Was a little bit unfortunate. If everything stayed up, it'd probably be around about 3/4 billion key, 750-ish K. But super happy with the team. Really like the way it functions. I could change some survivability on my team. I didn't really build them for this much survivability because I had different champions in. We had Tuhanrak and we had Cardiel, who's giving a little bit more healing. But, you know, those are the changes you can make. It's very easy to keep your team alive, especially with increased defense and Veils going on. So you will be able to do that. We have healing from Hugo and Leech from Nekmothar. So you can definitely keep them going the whole way. I just didn't want to reset the key and go again, right? Because it's 500 million. It proves the concept. I'm happy with the concept. I will be running this team more. I am not going to go back to Cardiel and to Tuhanrak. I'm going to try a few different other champions. We have been covering nukers. We are going to cover support champions like Tatura, but Tatura definitely gets my stamp of approval. I'll show you guys his build as well. Lady Mikage did 25 million. Run you down for the numbers. 42 million from Hugo. He was in damage gear. We got 6-star on him, so I thought, why not? Nekmothar is also in damage. He's in curse set and a bit of damage. He didn't do 117 million. That's because he's leeching from curse set. Tatura, 7.7 million damage. Not really one to kind of look at too much. Val did 170 million damage. Really, really nice. Val has a lot of survivability in his kit. His A1 heals him up. And he was running Blood Shield too, so he wasn't really... he stayed up right until the end, so he kind of stretched out at the end as well. But yeah, he's very, very good. Fenax, more empowerment needed, more awakening needed, but definitely give this guy an SS tier ranking for Hydra. He's amazing. I love running him. I love champions who have a bit of utility on the side. They can be like a Swiss Army knife for you. So he's really, really good, especially when you're missing your Swiss Army knife. Like Tuhanrak, he didn't really make me feel like I was missing that much backup support. You can see my ear back from the run. I'm trying to cover myself up, but I can't seem to get it. That's okay. Fenax, yeah, really, really good. Highly recommend running this champion. I'll show you guys the rest of the gear. But yeah, I can't stress enough how impressed I've been with having a nuker who can do a bit of a support on the side. People might say, well, we won't be able to run the accuracy stats. And that's fair enough. If you guys don't have the area bonuses, if you have to sacrifice a little bit of damage to get the accuracy, I can understand why you wouldn't want to do that. For me, I didn't really focus on accuracy too much. 244 accuracy is what I got. My area bonuses give me 48. I believe they go up to 80. I have like tier 6, level 6 of area bonuses for accuracy. So it gives me an extra 48 accuracy, which is nice. And then we have the aura 2 on top of that. So it gives us really, really good accuracy. We're not going to look back at his build, but we are going to check the others. Let me just sort by recently. Who else did we have in our run? We had Mikage. She was in a different build. She was in my Hydra build. I'm not going to change the Hydra build because we've shown it before, but I believe it is this build. So this is the build we run for Mikage. 287 speed before the buffs or before the stats boosted. But we have enough accuracy. We don't have enough resistance to resist any debuffs. And these are the masteries. We have Fenax here with his masteries. We have Nekmothar. The Nekmothar build was a little bit squishy. He did go down. He has like 57k HP. His defense could probably take some more love. I'd say 3k defense. Definitely above 2.5k. A little bit squishy from me. But, you know, he was running in a different sort of setup. 200-ish crit damage, 276 speed. He has extra turn and boost turn meter in his kit too, so really, really helps out. We ham him with War Master because he does the AoE, so I like the War Master AoE proc. Val's gear is now gone. Let me see, did I make a preset? I forgot to make a preset for Val, it looks like. Let me see if I can show you guys what Val's build was. I guess we can always look at where we showed presets, right? When we showed presets, it should be in here. This is, so just before him, right? So this should be Vol stats. Here we go. So 7,600 attack. Does have the 2-star blessing, so it's nice for him to get that extra attack. 276 speed, 100% crit rate, nearly 300 crit damage. Let's do a side-by-side comparison right now. Actually, let's see how these stats line up with each other. Fenax versus Vol's numbers. So we have 400 more attack on Vol, and we have like 10 more crit damage on Vol. He has a 2-star, so that's nice as well. He has a lot more speed. He has, wait, hold on. I'm not doing Hydra right now. Let's see. So 252 speed, 276. Attack is pretty close, 100 attack difference. And Fenax actually had the higher crit damage too. I believe I built Fenax first and then Vol after that. And Vol with a decent amount of accuracy, enough accuracy to land debuffs. I think the only difference is probably speed, maybe the 100 attack too. But then again, our Fenax has like 20 crit damage to make up for it. So the damage stats are the same, but the speed definitely makes a difference over a long sort of fight. And Fenax, I think, went down a little bit early in the fight too. So these are his stats. Those were Vol stats. And then Tatura. Tatura I went with Merciless and Reflex. I wanted to get back around to his support ability quite quickly. So we wanted to cycle back around. So I took the A3, A2 setup where we do Veil and then we do block debuffs. On Prio, probably could have switched it around for increased defense and block debuffs, because increased defense being on would have meant we would have had more survivability at the end. So probably switch it to A2, A3. And the perfect Veil is nice to get, but because it's a 4-turn cooldown, I was just thinking it would be nice to get perfect Veil up as soon as possible. And maybe we can extend the buffs with Mikage's A2, so we can basically keep the buffs going for the whole time. And if he cycles back through around with Merciless and Reflex, it would be nice. We also gave him roundabout enough resistance to resist 472, a little bit low, I would say go towards like 500, but we gave him 300 speed, 472 resistance, enough resistance to resist the boss. I couldn't run Blood Shield on him, but he does shielding from his kit. He does it from A3. And then we can extend it again, one of those buffs that can be extended. So that was Tatura's build. Highly recommend running this champion. Fantastic, super impressed. You will definitely be seeing more of Tatura. Maybe we'll do a Tatura Mishinaki team together. Merciless Yugo. We ended up going with 6-piece Merciless Yugo. As you can see, some of these pieces aren't maxed up. We kind of just preserved some silver, I guess. We didn't have enough silver to finish it all off, but this is the stats he was running. Let's see. So with Hydra battles, 302 speed, 3700 attack, 53k HP, 3.5k defense, 107 crit rate, 211 crit damage, enough accuracy to land debuffs. We definitely wanted him to have a reflex set. I wanted Reflex and Merciless on him, but we only had one Merciless accessory, so we couldn't do that. So I just decided to go with 6-piece Merciless. So we get the ignore defense and the damage, and we have the chance to decrease cooldown. We could also go with 1-piece Merciless Ami, and then 3 pieces of Artifact Merciless, and then we could go the Impulse set for more decreased cooldown, because we don't have 4 slots for Reflex. So we could have done that. I've taken Cruelty on him. Cruelty is really nice. It decreases defense by 4% every time he hits an enemy. So this is really, really good for us, or hits a boss, I should say. Really nice. Decreases the target's defense by 4% per hit, up to 20% for bosses. So that's what we went for. And then we have him War Master, normal sort of masteries, not any fancy masteries. You're wondering why I didn't show masteries on Tatura, and this is the reason why. Should take the resistance mastery. That will be 10 free resistance for me. So should be taking this, but I didn't really run too much masteries on him. I knew he would be good enough without the masteries. You could, if you wanted to take the best masteries, I'll draw up the best masteries for you now, in case you already have him mastered. If you don't have him mastered, you don't have to worry about it too much. But if you wanted to run masteries, maybe don't take the resistance tree. Maybe the resistance tree is not correct. Maybe we go with the War Master to give you a little bit more damage. He doesn't need accuracy, so we'll go like this route. Decreased cooldown is nice. Lasting gifts is very good. Nothing else does anything, so we'll just go with extra sniper chance. It doesn't really have the accuracy to land debuffs, so we're not going to do that. If you can get the accuracy to land debuffs, then you could probably go with sniper. Decrease accuracy is a decent debuff to get. Leech is good. But yeah, this is the sort of masteries I would run on Tatura. So if you're thinking about what masteries to run on Tatura, if you do have Tatura masteried, this is what I would run with. Get a little bit of War Master value, a little bit of Live Drinker healing, let the debuffs land for 3 turns and such. But yeah, that is the team. Super happy with the way the team turned out. Definitely going to refine the team a little bit more. Let me know what you guys think of the team. Let me know what you guys think of Fenax. Are you guys using him already? You probably are if you have like a 6-star awakening. He is amazing. Super impressed by him. Utility, damage, top tier. Also, Tatura, really good support. If you don't have Duchess, if you don't have Sifi, if you don't have the big supports, Tuhanraks, Cardiels, Glakehads, Krisk even, you can definitely put this guy in one of your slots. He'll give you increased defense, and he'll give you block debuffs, and he'll give you Veil. Fantastic champion. Anyway, that's it. That's the whole team. Thanks for watching. Have a good day and peace.